outskirts of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, a terrifying encounter unfolded that would haunt the small town for decades to come. The year was 1955, and a family living in a secluded farmhouse was about to become the unwilling witnesses to an extraterrestrial nightmare. The creatures they saw were unlike anything they had ever imagined. Small, goblin-like beings with pale green skin that glowed in the moonlight, their bodies hairless, and their faces twisted into grotesque, menacing features. The creatures, later known as the Hopkinsville Goblins, appeared without warning, emerging from the darkness with a chilling, otherworldly silence. Their eyes were large and glowing, like the eyes of a predator waiting to strike. But it wasn't just their unnerving appearance that filled the family with dread. It was the unnatural way they moved, skittering on 3 clawed toes, their limbs bending in unnatural angles. It was as though they weren't quite of this world. Something alien, something monstrous, far beyond human comprehension. The creatures circled the house, tapping on windows and clawing at doors, their glowing eyes peering inside with unsettling focus. The family, trapped inside and gripped with terror, fired shots at the goblins, but the bullets passed through them as if they were ghosts, only to return to the windows with more relentless force. Each encounter grew more intense, as the goblins seemed to grow bolder, their movements erratic and hostile as if they were toying with their prey. By the time dawn broke, the goblins were gone, leaving behind only fear, confusion, and unanswered questions. Were they creatures from another planet, or something far darker? The Hopkinsville Goblins remain a nightmare that refuses to fade, a terrifying reminder that some mysteries are never meant to be solved. In the dark, moonless nights of the Caribbean, a shadow stalks the land, a creature known only as the Chupacabra. The name Goat Sucker strikes fear into the hearts of those who whisper its legend. It is a nightmare made flesh, a thing that slinks through the underbrush, its glowing eyes reflecting the terror of the helpless creatures it hunts. First seen in Puerto Rico, the Chupacabra is no mere animal. It is a monstrous, nightmarish predator with a hunger that cannot be quenched. Descriptions vary. Some say it has the spiny reptilian back of a creature from the depths of hell. Others speak of a beast with fangs like razors and claws like daggers. But one thing is certain: lifeless body left behind is a grim warning to anyone foolish enough to venture too close. The chupacabra doesn't leave a trace, only a chilling, inexplicable silence in the air, and the unmistakable scent of death. To those who have encountered it, the terror is real, and once you know its name, you can never escape its haunting presence. There are bridges across the United States, weathered and forgotten, where the air grows thick with an unsettling presence, a presence that can only be described by one name: Crybaby Bridge. On these forsaken structures, beneath the weight of darkness, a chilling sound pierces the night, the unmistakable wail of a baby. Some say it's the echo of a mother's grief. Others speak of a tragedy too terrible to comprehend. Legend has it that the cry comes from the depths of the bridge, rising from the black waters below. The baby's scream is sharp, desperate, full of the raw, painful longing of a child lost in time. Those brave enough to stop and listen speak of the hair-raising feeling that something unseen is watching, waiting. Some say if you listen too long, you'll hear more than just crying. You'll hear the soft, wet footsteps of something crawling up from the dark, its hands reaching for you, pulling you into the water, just as it did to the child long ago. And no one knows why the sound lingers. Some claim it's the spirit of a baby drowned by a cruel fate. Others say it's a curse, a warning to anyone who dares cross the bridge after dark. But one thing is certain: if you hear the cry, you are never truly alone, and the bridge, like the child, will never let you go. Fair Charlotte is a tragic and chilling tale that has haunted New England for generations. A story of beauty, vanity, and a chilling price paid for pride. The legend speaks of a young girl, Fair Charlotte, who, on the night of a grand New Year's ball, was so consumed skybrid of man and beast, its very existence whispered in fearful tones by those who dare to speak of it. This terrifying entity is said to have the body of a human, but its twisted, deformed head resembles that of a goat. Sharp, glaring eyes, a jagged, snarling mouth, and two massive horns curling from its skull. Its form is a grotesque mockery of nature, stalking the dark, wooded edges of the town, its presence marked by the eerie rustling of leaves and the crushing of branches underfoot. The goatman's legend is drenched in blood and terror. It is rumored to be responsible for countless mysterious deaths of livestock, particularly dogs, whose mangled corpses are found with evidence of violent, unnatural attacks. Some say it hunts by luring unsuspecting prey into the woods with eerie sounds or the scent of death, and when the moon is high, it strikes with terrifying ferocity. Locals tell of strange, unsettling encounters, footsteps echoing in the dark, eyes glowing from the underbrush, and the bone-chilling feeling of being stalked by something far more dangerous than any animal. Many claim that the goat man will follow you home, lurking just beyond the safety of the trees, waiting for its next victim. No one knows what it wants, but those who've encountered it never forget the darkness in its eyes. The goat man is real, and it is waiting. The Dover Demon is a chilling legend that has haunted the small town of Dover, Massachusetts, since the spring of 1977. Over the course of 2 terrifying nights, 3 separate witnesses claimed to encounter a creature so otherworldly, its image has burned itself into local lore forever. The first sighting occurred on April 21st, when 17-year-old William Bartlett was driving down a dark, deserted road. As his headlights pierced the night, they illuminated something that shouldn't exist. Perched on a low stone wall was a creature with skin the color of pale, sickly flesh, stretched taut over its gaunt, just an empty, silent stare that seemed to bore into his very soul. The second encounter happened just hours later. John Baxter, walking home through a wooded path, was startled by a grotesque silhouette in the shadows. The figure moved with a jerking, unnatural gait, its limbs impossibly long and frail. It followed him, closing the distance without a sound, before vanishing into the dark forest. Baxter swore its glowing eyes never wavered from him. The final sighting came from Abby Brabham the next evening. She described a gangly, otherworldly creature crouched near a stream, its elongated fingers clutching at the earth as if searching for something, its gaze locked on her, those unblinking, fiery eyes paralyzing her with an unnatural dread. No tracks, no evidence, no explanation was ever found. Skeptics called it a hoax, but those who saw it still tremble when they recall its stare. Some whisper the creature wasn't of this world, while others fear it still lurks in Dover's shadowy woods, watching, waiting. The Dover demon remains an enigma, a sinister reminder that the unknown might be closer than we think, and it's always watching from the dark. The Devil's Chair is a chilling urban legend, one that has haunted the minds of many who dared to speak its name. In the desolate corners of abandoned cemeteries, hidden in plain sight, sits an eerie monument, an ominous, weathered chair, its stone surface cold and lifeless. But beware, this is no ordinary chair. It is cursed. Locals whisper that the chair is the resting place of a tormented soul, forever bound to its seat. Those who sit in it are doomed to be visited by dark, malevolent forces forces from beyond the grave. Some say the chair absorbs their life force, leaving them weak and hollow, while others claim they are plagued by nightmarish visions of the damned. Several have vanished without a trace after sitting in it, their bodies found twisted and unrecognizable, as if some unseen force had pulled their very essence into the chair itself. But the legend doesn't end there. It is said that on moonless nights, the chair becomes alive with a sinister presence, its cold stone heated by an unnatural energy. Those foolish enough to touch it report hearing faint whispers, the soft, agonizing screams of souls trapped in eternal torment. The devil's chair is not just a relic, it's a warning. Never sit in it, never challenge it, for some curses are not meant to be broken. There's a number that no one should ever call. 99999. It's a forbidden sequence, whispered about in hushed tones, known only to those who dare to seek the unimaginable. The legend goes like this. If you dial the number after midnight, you'll hear a voice on the other end, soft and chilling, offering you anything you desire. A wish, a secret, a moment of power. But nothing comes without a cost. For every wish granted, a price is paid in blood. The moment you utter your request, you seal your fate. The voice will ask for nothing except your life. And when the sun rises, you will be gone, swallowed by an unseen force. The urban legend has spread like wildfire, horrifying those who hear it. Some say it's just a story. Others swear they've felt the cold grip of death after making the call. And in 2002, the legend was brought to the screen in the horrifying film 99999. It's a tale that lingers, a dark invitation you should never, ever answer. The 1962 is a haunting legend that chills the soul, shrouded in mystery and darkness. The story revolves around a single horrifying photograph taken at a seemingly innocent Halloween costume party. The photo, which has circulated through the years, shows a group of people laughing and dancing, unaware of the unspeakable horror that would soon unfold. According to the legend, what the photo doesn't show is the bloodbath that followed. The guests, 7 in total, were allegedly slaughtered that night, their bodies mutilated beyond recognition. Some say the killer was hiding among them, cloaked in costume, blending into the revelry. The massacre, though, was too brutal, too grotesque for anyone to believe. Whispers claim that the killer was never caught, and that the picture itself holds a dark secret, a silent witness to the horror. The photograph is said to be cursed. Anyone who looks too long at it, or even dares to search for it, may feel an overwhelming sense of dread, as though the spirits of the victims are watching, waiting for justice. To this day, no one knows the full truth behind the 1962 Halloween massacre, and perhaps it's better that way. Some horrors are best left in the dark. For 86 long years, the Boston Red Sox were plagued by a curse so dark it seemed to haunt every game, every season, and every hopeful fan. It was called the Curse of the Bambino, and it began with a single fateful act. In 1918, the Red Sox sold their star player, Babe Ruth, to the New York Yankees. The moment he left, a shadow descended over the team, one that would stretch across nearly a century of heartbreak and despair. From that day forward, the Red Sox were cursed. Every time they came close to victory, something insidious would strike. An error, a missed chance, a call gone wrong. The ballpark grew thick with a sense of dread, as if the very air was saturated with the weight of a vengeful spirit. Fans would watch in agony as their team faltered, and whispers of the Bambino's ghost, restless and furious, swirled through the stands. curse was a punishment, others a malicious joke, but all felt its grip, cold and relentless. Then, in 2004, the impossible happened. The curse was broken, but not without the lingering memory of its chilling presence. Even today, when the Red Sox play, a whisper lingers in the air, a reminder of the cursed years when victory seemed forever out of reach. The tragic death of James Dean in 1955 left behind more than just a mournful legacy. It unleashed a malevolent curse tied to his iconic Porsche 550 Spider, nicknamed Metal Bastard. The car, which Dean was driving when he met his untimely death, became the focus of a chilling urban legend. The story goes that anyone who took a piece of the wreckage from Little Bastard was doomed to suffer a horrific fate, usually in a car accident of their own. Mechanics, fans, and even curious onlookers who dared to claim parts of the car, an engine, a tire, a seat, found themselves drawn into a web of death and destruction.